it's live. I don't know what else to say.
No, wait. Okay, we're live. You can hear me. A voice in the void. Welcome back to another Auto Disc Golf Patreon form reviews.
What is this?
What is this? What are those?
Wait, stop. What?
It's not on my screen.
Just kidding. Like, you're live and it's like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's jacked up. Let me see.
Technical difficulties?
This is very boring.
Hey, when it rains, it pours.
It does. What is happening right now?
Someone call Emily. Get oh, well, that's a hey, dude, that's a good thing because I just remembered because Emily pours. You get it?
Jeez.
I just remembered that I am on the schedule for this week, and I keep thinking, oh, you gotta accept that. You gotta accept that. And I don't do it. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, here we go. What's the order?
Okay. Fix it. I fixed it. Everything's fine.
Are we live?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Been live. We have been live.
Has it been showing my screen?
No.
Okay. They want to see my planning center? You guys want to see the music we're doing for church this Sunday?
Fine.
All right. What? I don't see anybody writing in the chat.
We got
All right.
5 people watching right now.
Sorry for that. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Good morning. John Kelly, related to Tori by chance. Because that'd be cool. Just wanted to show you guys, we are almost out of our wild honeys. So if you're wanting one, this is a great run. If you throw wild honeys, this run has got some stability to it, which is nice, right? Because some runs are like, pew! This one's just like, ooh. Okay. Get that bag out of my face. Cookies, peppermints. Okay. They're all live. Grab them. Zach Pagic, our moderator. The moderator.
The only.
I bet you could go on a special side quest, Zach, and you could be a disc golf moderator for every channel that does live streams.
That's a question.
I'm pretty sure you could. I think out of everyone in disc golf that could do it, I think you're the guy. Good morning. Good morning. As always, if you're here, drop your username. If I've got your form, I should say. For those just watching, hey, welcome. Glad you're here. But if I've got your form and you're expecting me to review it, drop your username and say username is here, and Mikey will get the queue up and running.
Okay, that's right.
Sip, sip. There we go, there we go. Grab the disc. Well, welcome, Ian. We're cool with just watching. As always, I'd love to know what you guys do when you just watch. Are you at work? Are you working out? Do you not work? Okay. I think I'm just going to start.
Sure.
Oh, you good?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try something. I need to pin that comment. I think I can do that from here.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a couple more people to comment so I can click this.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yes.
There it is.
Wow.
consider it pinned, right?
It's pinned. Which run of the Wild Honey is better for slow arm speed? You know, I'd say most of the... It depends on what you're looking for within that, obviously. I'm assuming you're asking for a, like, from a distance standpoint, probably just the stock runs would be, if you're a slow arm speed and you're looking for more flip, probably not our run. It's not the flippiest run out there. So, but I'd say most stock runs are more understable than what we've got here. But I stacked up on these suckers because I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't want to run out of this run. Oh, yeah. Any reasons of knee pain and disc golf? So many reasons. Not just any, so many. So, I'm not going to list them all. But, yeah. It's not an easy sport on the joints, especially if you do it wrong. So even if you do it right, it's not easy on the joints. So, okay. There you go. We are going to just start. I'm going to start with Cuckoo Lane, Mikey. Any reason hitting trees in disc golf? You know, the most common one is definitely got to be rounding for sure. Right. Or timing issue. Or what are people's issues? Okay, Cuckoo Lane. Let's see. There he is. Oh, a forehand to start off? Yes, please.
It's something new.
And I'm so curious what the theme will be today. Well, there's not too much wrong with that. Like from a just aesthetic standpoint. Let's dig a little deeper here. Overall timing's decent. Yeah, it's just this little move right here where you pitch the front of the disc up like that, and you go, and you lay your hand back and you roll your forearm back like that. Tough to kind of get it all into the disc. Yeah, your problem, my friend, is in interaction with the disc problem. It's not much in terms of form. Overall, maybe you leak a little bit on the front side. Maybe like your left foot doesn't hit solid enough. So, does anybody else gravitate to just like putting their finger on Discraft tooling? So,
Bro, oh my gosh.
huh?
The look right now is so vintage.
Vintage. Yeah, so here you could stop better with your front, right? You could not leak quite as much. It doesn't look like you're totally laying into the thing, so this would be for like more optimization. But when you flip here like this, now you're not moving the inside of the rim forward, right? So when we drop this down, we've got to make sure that one, it's going to help the nose angle, but two, we want to push forward from the inside of the rim, right? This is not conducive to that. So rolling this elbow, twisting this forearm up like this, where the palm starts moving upwards here. When the arm comes in, it's just there. It's not in scoop, right? So we don't need to roll underneath this, right? If I have a ball, I'm not going I'm not going here and going, let's roll underneath and put some backspin on it, right? If I was throwing from this slot, I would stay there and push from the back of the ball. There. So really pay attention, monitor how this is moving forward. Make sure the intent, make sure you stay on the back side of the rim here. Don't get underneath this sucker like that, because now your fingers aren't pushing directly forward, right? And when you do that, focus on your middle finger popping the disc forward like this. Forward, and of course, a little bit of cross for spin here, not rolling underneath. Nice thing about having most of the form looking decent is when you make a little change like that, it tends to be real nice. Okay, Cyanide, welcome back, brother. Forehand. First, give me an update on your backhand. Is it still wobbling around as it goes through? Or you got that sucker in there and it's not moving around? Okay, forehand. You are a stretchy boy, aren't you? Whoa. Yeah, so here's a good example. Of making sure you are pushing from the inside of the rim. So you got a pretty solid forehand, eh? Checking if there's anything else on the back side of this clip, you know. Yeah, so you push a lot with your arm, with your elbow. Right, the amount of space that it covers from here to here with the hips not moving that much, it's pretty severe. Yeah. Swoop being your usual problem is not surprising, because if we go from back here to here with the arm, we're getting that swoop path, even if we have the orientation of the hand correct. The thing that you have to realize is to get the disc from back here to here is not an isolated arm push. It happens because this is all attached, right? So you have to make sure that you lag. You have to treat this almost as one unit and keep it there, and you have to send the lower body earlier than you're doing now, and that has to be what closes the space with the hand, right? So we're not going here and then sending, and my hips are still closed. We're here, and then the hips open up, and that's what pulls this, right? So most of the range of motion comes from the hips moving. So my arm's not moving at all. Sometimes I get people to put something here. Just the other day, actually, I had somebody put a pillow here. Well, let's take this cone, for example, right? It's here. That's where the range of motion comes from, not here. So even starting here, now when the elbow's in front of the hip, it's just because the hip's cleared, not because of the push. So you got to be kind of lazy with the hand. Keep the hand loose. And then at the very end, it's just a pop with the hand because you've drug it along with the hips first. Make sense? Oh, that would pop my shoulder out of socket. Maybe if you have like weak shoulders, but it should be. This is the thing that should get worked, not your elbow. Trust me, popping your elbow is much easier to do than popping your shoulder. Maybe it's not. Maybe for you it's different. But I'd much rather have the shoulder get pulled on, much bigger muscle, much meatier part of the body than the elbow. Yeah, it takes a bit. I can tell you right now from what you're doing, the push, it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of effort for the same or less distance. So 100 meters, you're looking 350. I mean, you can see in our wild honey review, right, when Mikey and I are throwing forehands, it's not looking like a bunch of effort. It's just a little move forward with the hips and then with the hand. Right, but once I start doing what you're doing, 350 is not on the table for me. 100 meters not on the table for me. So yeah. But if I can wait with the hand, send the body first, then distance is on the table. What just happened? Why do I have 3 more people?
Correct.
What happened? Did they send it late? Did they?
Late.
Huh?
Except for one, there was Handoff and Bergman that I added that were like as we started.
You guys kill me. You guys, I have expectations when I look at this. Just imagine your to-do list for the day getting longer after you write it, and you don't even add things in. It's someone else added this. Come on, guys. How are you going to be good players if you can't be on time? Huh? How are you going to be good players if you show up late? You think it's the guys who show up late and leave early that are good players? I don't think so. I don't think so. Show up on time. Come on. You got like 2 weeks to get it in. Be prompt. Don't give me this late crap. And tell me you want to get better.
Yeah. Tyler Mills, he was great. He was good though. He got his in like.
Tyler Mills, you're good. That was our fault, Tyler Mills. I don't know why it was our fault, but you were good. We just didn't get you in this queue. The rest of you know who you are. Okay. Yeah, when you get on Pro Tour and you're seven seconds late for your tee time, you're not gonna put it online and say, "Oof, I'm a victim of this. I'm a victim of this rule." No, you're gonna be early. You're gonna be early. and save strokes. And your sponsors are going to love you because they don't see negative social media rants about your tardiness and all that. It all adds up. It all adds up. Dude, you know, this is pretty good. It's just too short. Your last little bit here is too short. The work you did on the walk up, fantastic. You got to spend just a little longer on this left leg. See how small this kind of is with the footwork? It's correct in terms of like, it's nice and clean. It's wearing a bow tie. It's really nice. But we don't have a lot of coil. You're not really threatening the disc here because you're taking a half swing. Right, spend a lot of time on this left foot. Do the same thing, but give me a nice long here. Boom. Spend a long time on the left and get all the way back. You're going to have to take a larger step at the end here. Right, so instead of here, I'm very tame, very calm, and I'm here. This is as far back as I got, right? I want all the swing room. I want the full swing path. Give me everything I can get. Let me get there, right? Still balanced. I'm not like that where I'm just stuck. Give me a full coil though. I want to see your back, not your chest. Right? Good work up to this point. Now make it a larger move. Still balanced, but time to pull the training wheels off. Elongate the swing here. And then start cranking, brother. This is nice. Yeah. Now more coil. Yeah. But yeah, it's all tame. It's all tame. I don't see much wrong. It's like, okay, cool. If this was like if this was at the beginning of a practice and someone was like, oh, let me just slow it down a little bit and make sure my feet are in the right place and stuff like that, I'd be like, oh, amazing. Now let's do it this way, right? So you're ready for the next step. Is that going to require more lag before throwing with a longer step? Well, I wouldn't use the term lag just because that can get confusing with all the other ways the word lag is used. But yeah, you want to glide more, you want to delay more, which I know delay and lag are the same word, but just want to be sure because we're on the internet and things can get mixed up. Yeah, so it needs to be, instead of, let me audiate this for you. So instead of left, here we go, left, right, we're going to go left, right, left, right, and get as much coil as we can before that plant hits. So yeah, it's gonna take, yeah, you need to spend a little longer lengthwise on that left leg as you glide forward. But it's clean now. It's clean. Now let's get huge. Even if it dirties it up a little bit. Nice work. Okay. Tyler Mills. I don't know why, this just looks so nice with that T-pad and the little gravel leading up to it. Yeah, so you're doing a good job of being balanced and centered here. You just have to continue, same thing with the last guy, you actually start uncoiling here. Your knee starts turning more forward. You see how far back your right knee is? It's like 180 degrees off the target, right? And so then it unwinds to about 90 degrees off the target. We just need it to turn back the whole time. Right? You see how you're in this position here? The legs are not finishing in a bad position. It's just the fact of how you got there, where this leg was, you were kind of back a little bit with this foot, and then you were back into an open with this foot to get into that position. We don't want to open into that because, well, that means we're already throwing at that point. So instead of that, you want to turn this back the whole time. Turn kind of that knee back the whole time. Everybody say, welcome, Dakota. Wait, the people have something for you. Stay and read chat. They're going to say it. I trust that they will.
I think it looked at you started.
Huh?
I think it looked at you started.
There it is, Zach Paget. Here you go. I got you a gift.
Wow. So much gift.
Howdy. Look, they're all here for you.
Hello. Hello, my faithful followers.
Yeah, I'm kind of borderline. I do think it's back a bit early here. Some people start there and then they kind of stay back, but I would delay that turn until you get here. Right? Don't turn yet, and then once you get on the left, then turn. Is what I would generally say there. So if you go, don't turn, we're side on here, hip forward. Don't turn. It's okay if it turns a baby amount, right? Just by nature of it crossing behind, it wants to turn a little bit, right? But we're trying to just cross behind straight in front of us and then turn, right? And turn all the way back. Your back needs to go all the way to the target. And when you do that and you keep turning, it's probably going to take your hip a little bit with it. But we want this feel of what I would call like the disc golf trust fall, to where it's like, oh, okay, you're going to catch me. Woo! There. Right? So we plant and our attention is backwards. It's very trust fall-esque off of that left foot. Any questions on that? Additional questions? Anything notable for the upper body? Well, the upper body is going to change quite a bit when you do this, because right now right now the upper body is pinched because your lower body is going forward, right? So you're here, right? You're setting up, and then you go. So you get pinched here. Once you go back and you're just turning the whole time, you're going to have lots of space to move the disc. So that should get better on its own for the most part. Doesn't mean you can't find a new way to screw it up, but you should have lots of space back there when you go back. So, but I would expect this position here with how you did the lower body. Yeah, I mean, 350 from this position is kind of good actually. So once you can get a full coil there, and I can see your like left shoulder blade here, then you have a lot more runway, and you won't be unwinding before your foot hits the ground, before you have something to throw against. So it'll feel like a much larger swing, which is easier to accelerate. Okay, David. Oh, David. I saw David in person. It was here? It was here, wasn't it? Was it here? Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. You live in North Carolina? Oh, my brain. It remembers. Kind of. It's in there. It's in there somewhere. Okay. Whoop. Okay. So first thing, I noticed that your thumb is like in here. Thumb placement is kind of like above the fingers, right? Not that we're pinching the fingers together like this, but it's closer to the rim. The more in the middle, the weirder the interaction with the disc is. And you just want to make sure that the middle finger is pushing inside the rim. It doesn't have to be 100% pushing inside the rim. It can be a little bit diagonal, like between rim and flight plate. But make sure it's not only flight plate and that you're not doing like this number. So, yeah, the grip just looks a little weird to me, how you're interacting. Oh, yeah. And don't smash the thumb like that. That is some strength you got there, brother. Right. This has got to be loose. Yeah, keep it loose. Because we want to keep the arm loose too. Dang, dude. Tell me that thing's like G-star or something. That is one huge dimple.
Wobble over my nose.
Yeah, thumb is, I mean, you're crushing the flight plate with the thumb. And the other thing is here, let's see when you get back. You want to set the arm as back as it can go, basically, comfortably here. So you've got like a little bit of space here where it could be here. And the reason that that's important is, like, let's say I exaggerate this and I have this here, and then I start moving my hips forward first, like I should. Well, I've still got lots of room to stretch, but from here, since I'm not stretched, I can't drag it with my body. So it's going to cause me to push the disc forward. That's the only way I can get it forward. We want to be able to drag, and to do that, we need to make sure that the arm is basically all the way stretched out. So if that's here, cool, here, cool, but it needs to be laid back as far as it can go. And then drag, pop, not push with the elbow. It's not shot put down here. It's not, we're here and we're going, huh. We're not inventing like a new shot put arm slot or Haidoken, right? It's Pulldoken. Drag, pop. Drag, pop. So you have to have the arm stretched out. For some reason, holding it back hurts my shoulder, but leaving it close doesn't. Does that make any sense? Holding it back? Well, I've got guesses. If you're crushing the flight plate, right, there's probably a lot of tension in the arm already. Right? And if you force it back and you're crushing, probably not going to be comfortable. So there's not much to say on my part other than the fact that you've got to figure out how to get it back. Obviously, not forcing it back into a position that's just destroying your arm. But the first thing it's going to do is it's going to pull on your shoulder. This is why it's a tough motion, because we're stretching this arm out past where it was made to go. So, and we like to do that. We like to push the limits of our bodies, apparently. So, yeah, loosen grip, loosen arm, set it back there as far back as it can comfortably go, and then drag forward, right? So, some people get to wait a real long time. Some people, like, it basically drags immediately. Their arm can't stretch out that much, but you definitely want to do that so you can create a drag motion versus a push motion. Push motion sucks. It's tough to do, doesn't go anywhere. And it wobbles like crazy. It's just no fun. No fun, no good. Doubly no. Any tips on getting rid of early releases? Well, it's all tied to pushing, right? You'll have a whole new set of misses when you start pulling the disc forward versus pushing. So, but also keep your elbow towards us. Like, don't let it get behind your body here, right? If I'm throwing, I don't want it to be here. When I set my arm back, it's going to be here. So that has a direct line forward. If it's here, now it's going to go around, which is sending my line over here. Right? But here, it's got space to move forward, so now I can send it straight forward. Boom, boom. Ah. Yeah, your posture's sitting back a little too much. Yeah. See, your posture's sitting back a little too much. You're very upright. You see how your head's kind of tilted back away from the target a whole bunch. Your heel here, toe moving towards kind of the heel, and then you force a big stagger step. Which, because of your lines here on the floor, we can tell that it's a 45-degree stagger, which is too much. Right? Really, it's supposed to be about 20, but Either way, you're forcing that stagger because of your posture. So instead of here, where your heel, the butt's under you, just causing if I stayed here, it makes me want to fall back away. And then if you're going for a stagger, you're going to force your body over here into a big giant stagger because you know you should have one. Instead, let's hit this step and let's get locked in posture-wise. Okay, so we need this kind of posture here. And then we can go through our cross step. And then we've got this nice space over the shot. Here, see I'm over, I'm kind of protecting this space. Over again. All right, that's going to let you get a much cleaner coil. It's going to let you stay on balance. It's going to give you a better plant. Yeah, and when you get there, so after you do that, this is what I just said is a prerequisite to what I'm about to say. So don't try what I'm about to tell you until you get the posture correct, because it's not going to work. Or it'll just waste your time, basically. So here, and now when you go to plant, we've got a nice solid base here. It lets us stop very, very quickly. And that's the name of the game, is once this foot hits, how quick can we stop? When we throw, don't let this left leg just swing back behind, because though technically your hips aren't swinging open, you're still drifting over top of this front leg, right? So this brace here has to stop your left hip from going forward, right? It's got to keep you back here, right? Don't just let the left hip not come around. Stop it from drifting over this front foot, right? If you drift past this front foot, you didn't really brace, right? The brace is to stop and plant your hips in place. So here, boom. Keep it there, right? This is the way. An explosive bicep curl? Absolutely, Tad. I don't know that I'd call it an explosive bicep curl, but it is an intentional move to get your hand through the pocket. Not just into the pocket, but through the pocket.
My experience with bicep curl is bad because it pulls it towards your chest. That's my issue a lot of the time. I'm doing a bicep curl in my last pocket.
I gotcha.
Elbow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, if you're thinking about the actual muscles for a bicep curl, it's not the way. Mikey's chiming in from the other room. The muscles that we use are on the back side of the arm and shoulder, not the front side and the chest. So anything here is a decelerator later. These are all the accelerators for this move. Okay, current cue. Joe R. Marion. Jorma Ryan.
Jorma, Ryan. Sounds like a military call out. Jorma, Ryan.
A little sip with a little watch.
I think it's backwards, but you gotta flip it.
His is backwards?
I'm joking.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gotta be flipped, right?
So this right here is tough. When you're back like this. Because now your head's out past your feet here. Your hips are gonna like either you take a direct walking step backwards behind you, which is unbalanced, or more than likely this knee and this hip and this foot flare open here. Here it is. He's a prophet. I'm not a prophet. I'm a coach. So that's deal number one. Is let's get the base under us. We don't need to tilt so crazy like this. I would expect to see this kind of tilt here if you were throwing over them mountains. All right, if you're throwing super high, maybe we see this spike highs or something like that. But for most throws, we don't want this. We want to be a little more level. So let's go through it. Okay, so first off, natural with good posture, right? So you've got kind of this bend. You've got the posture. For the most part, it's just tilted too far, and sometimes you take that posture and you orient your feet the wrong way. So keep that posture that you're working on. Right. And then once we go here, boom, side step, keep it here. And then for your cross step, keep it here. Yep. Are you trying to compress my audio?
Dude. I'm like, where is the thing? And then you looked at the screen, you didn't say anything, and I was like, it's there, isn't it?
Can you layer some auto tune on there?
What?
Can you layer some auto tune while you're compressing it?
Of course.
Okay, so our posture, we don't turn here. This just needs to be a cross step here. So quite simply, it's just like you're going to do cross steps this way. See ya. Right? To the left this time. Boom, 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 right? That's all it is, right? So your body's set up in very much the same way as if you're just going to do cross behind, cross behind, cross behind. And then we just decide randomly, okay, I'm going to do this cross behind, and here I'm going to turn. But it's still the same step this way, right? So it's this step is what the lower body does, and the upper body turns. Right? And when you combine those two things, the upper body turning and the lower body stepping, it goes like that. And we get a little bit more stagger. We already had some stagger, right? Right here, there's stagger. And then we turn. So I would just work on this movement. It's back. There. Here, just the footwork if you're going to isolate. Not a bad idea. There's lefty. And then here, thinking, okay, I'm just going to step forward with the right. I'm going to turn. Right, that's opposite for you as a lefty. So it would be left, cross. That's it. So iron out that footwork pattern will help big time. No turn. No turning. I gotta turn on a different type of do not disturb. It's on my work, do not disturb. I'm still getting messages. Do not disturb. There we go. Hey, Foundation Disc Golf is live.
You are live streaming.
It took 0.1 second of me being between my work do not disturb that doesn't let that notification come through, and then my actual like sleep do not disturb for that message to get in. I mean, peak timing. Okay, so we're talking about coil. Yeah, it's because by here you're already very back. And so your hip is uncoiling. Sorry, very back being the hip. You're focusing on the shoulders. Your hips are limiting your shoulder turn back. Right, so you're here, boom, and even though this foot is like forward-esque, your hips are already turning back. Right, so my hips are back, and so you've got this coil already with your hips going backwards and your shoulders trying to stay here, right? And so you're here, and now your hips, just look at the hips, are going forward. Well, if my hips were here, for example, coil back as far as you can. That's it. So they're too forward for me to get anywhere near full coil, even though I'm turned all the way. My unit turn, big separation between the hips and the shoulders. So, but your hips go through here, they turn back here, and then they turn forward as you're trying to go. Well, if I go here and I turn my hips forward, it's connected to my shoulders somehow. Muscles, bones, tendons, ligaments. Right, so if your hips are going forward but your shoulders going back, you're fighting yourself. Right? Both need to turn back. So when you get here on this cross step, there should be no tension, no like torque. Yeah, it's just this. Right? So you're just here, shoulders, hips, both here. Keep both here, and now turn both back. Right? And your shoulders can go further back than your hips, just because you got your core in between. Right? But right now, your hips, as we will see, are going the opposite direction of the shoulder, which is limiting your overall turn. See here? Hips back, shoulders back with the hips. And then here it goes. Hips going forward. Right. Oh, why did I do that? I was trying to zoom out. Right, so here goes the hips. Boom. So your hips are here now, causing you to uncoil because they pulled it. Hips are back. This is as far back as the hips get. They're pointing about there probably. By the time they land, they're open about here. So you can only turn your shoulders back against the hips so much. You got to have the hips going back during the final step. Questions on that? So should the full coil be when the plant foot hits? Yes. Yeah, you should be. You should be. Okay, not coiled. Not coiled. I'm gonna turn for as long as I can. Oh crap, my foot hit. I can't turn anymore. Dang it. I wish I had more time. If only there were more time. All right. That's what the mindset turns into. Is like, let me get back there. I have to get back. And then this sucker right here is ruining the whole thing by planting. So, but you want to be fully turned back when the plant foot hits. As turn back as you can. And still trying to get it. You won't be able to get it anymore, but keep trying to get it. Yeah, and I'm realizing that if I had that mindset during my fieldwork session yesterday, I might have put up some better numbers. But alas, I didn't. So, do you have any forearm or general arm stretches you do? Just found out I have a 350-foot flat forehand after some reach back and stance changes, but after doing it, started to put some big strains on my elbow area. Since these extreme movements hadn't been used much, I guess they hadn't received a lot of load very suddenly, so I want to work on. Okay. Do yourself a favor. Buy one of these suckers and just look up videos on tennis players, baseball players, resistance band workouts, right? For shoulder, for arm. And then you'll find some fit looking dude giving you all the instruction you can want. And you'll get strong. Yeah. But yeah, I did a lot of that in my old job. Every time before I hopped on court to play. I am not as diligent about it nowadays. Okay, no cue, huh?
No cue.
Well, where should we start? I guess we'll start with Cam.
I think he wants to be last. He's trying to make it. I told him if we went earlier that, but this time it's him. So make you work.
Yeah, not looking good for the doc here.
I mean, he's usually good though. Come on.
Is he? No. It's a habit. It's a habit, and he's got to break it. No, I want to make sure he sees it. So I can get on him then. Okay, let's go Nimina.
Nimina.
Oh, is this putting? This is my grip, he says. Whoa, dude, there's a sticker underneath your fingers. Gotta get that sucker off of there. And put it on your public park bench. Vandalize that sucker. I hate that. We got that. It's a thing here in Lynchburg. It's so dumb. It's the worst. It's literally the worst. And then this guy signs his full name on a basket. Full name, date of birth, social security number. Ace! Great. Okay. So fast. Why was it so fast? There are no frames. Okay. Here you go. There are frames. I found them. I mean, you didn't show me a bad putt, did you? I wish I knew when this guy was going to get on, because I got questions. The body press is happening before the hand goes. I don't have much info on... Don't have any info on where it missed. If it missed. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see if this guy shows up. Because I got some guesses, but I'd like to get a little more context. Okay, we're gonna do japers. Is that Randon Lotta? Is this what is that? De La? Hello? Play. I said play. Oh, it's gonna do the thing where it, yep. Thank you. That's what I wanted. Let's try again. Same result. Yeah, back towards the heels here. The legs are very locked out and it's kind of penguin-y. Right? You'll see it in a second, right? And then you won't unsee it. Boop, boop, boop. Right? Very penguin-y. The penguins would make very bad disc golfers. Unless they came up, maybe they've got a creative way of doing it well. I'm not sure. But I think very bad disc golfers. Right? You're very much like kind of standing too tall, too much towards the feet. It's like glide. Get low and glide inside of your posture. Okay? Here. We want to get this nice low base here, right? So that we're not at the mercy of just like falling here, right? We're not on stilts. We're low. right? Nice long time to coil. Got to get a bit more athletic with it. So get in your posture here, and we're going to do these. That's what it should feel like, right? It's just those little cross steps. Right. Gliding, gliding, gliding sideways down the T-pad. Then once you get that, you can start looking at the technical pieces. Right, it's here. Side on, glide side on. Now we glide that way still, but we turn back. But it's all with this foundation of glide. Right? See the difference there? See, it's, you're like, weak, weak, weak. It's glide. Okay. Watch some pros. Pull up Simon. Pull up your favorite pros. Glide. See that? It's like he doesn't stop moving. J to the. Pew. Hey, that's nice. 67.
Is this J?
Yeah, J to the. Yeah, low wobble. That's nice. Nose angle's a little up. Could be improved. I mean, you're leaving distance on the table with the nose angle. Speed's nice though.
Bro, I was about to say, tell me he rotoed himself.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was also thinking that.
Dude, he's either gonna get lead, and there's no way he said this, you like completely behind it
Right.
last second. Had me in the first half.
Yeah, so I'm a couple of tweaks here. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Couple of tweaks here. You could coil more. Like those shoulders could turn a bit more, I think. Work on maintaining more space. That's the thing that broke as you went faster. You got this kind of like sub 90 degree angle here. Make sure the hand gets out in front. Make sure that elbow gets out in front. Kind of from the beginning. All right, we don't want this sub 90 angle here. Yeah, you're probably you might have to think about getting this back shoulder towards us a bit more, right? Or towards the target a bit more to get the rest of that coil. The other thing I'm seeing is you are mashing the thumb, right? I found it's really hard to throw nose down when you're like destroying the thumb. This is something I'm becoming more and more convinced of. You can give me evidence. I'm not like adamant or dogmatic about it right now, but I think you'd see improvements to nose angle if you just reduced thumb pressure and let the thumb just be anti-wobble, basically. So those are the tweaks I would look at. The rest of it's looking pretty decent. Yeah, and if you get your hand through faster here, like beating your shoulders more, it cleans up this final position where you're not so forward with the chest, right? So from back here, make sure you have enough space. Keep that, yeah, left shoulder, yeah, coil, coil, coil. And then hand through, elbow through really quick. So, but you're on track. 67, that's 450 territory right there with good nose angle. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's looking pretty good. You're headed to Smash City. Okay. Next, let's do Will. Will Berry. Will I am. This is he. What a mashup. Do we have a shipment coming in today? Do we have a shipment of something coming in today?
Yeah, the only thing we're waiting out is MVP and Benjamin after feature.
Okay. Okay. This position, we got to clean this up. We have got to get more turn here. So right here, you're not taking advantage of all this, the rest of this time from about here forward. You stopped coiling and you got to continue coiling. You got to keep going. Turn, 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 turn. Somehow your body got the cue of unturn. But your shoulders got to go turn, turn, turn. Keep going right there. Don't just stop. Don't stop right here. So that's effectively where your coil's ending. Here. Turn, 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 turn. Right? All the way back. As far back as you can get with the shoulders during the last step. Yeah. Man, that was slow. That thing was booking it. Here. Turn. Turn. uncoil. More turn. All right, well, on the last 3 rows, Snorange.
Schnorge.
There it is, East Way.
East.
Yeah, 2 upright, took your space away from yourself. You stole it from yourself. No, that's where we played with. Wait, were you with me?
You and me, Josh. That was the last field trip.
Gotcha.
This field,
This is in Charlotte.
I just know you and I have played this course.
Usually I play with Ed and
Yeah, on that trip, I think.
yeah,
Yep, I think it was that.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe John and Evan.
Probability.
What up, what up? Hey, let's go. You know? Let's go to Eastway. Right meow. Yeah, see how you're towards your heel here? You're this heel. Whoop, that one. Towards your heels, your posture's too upright, gets the disc behind you. And so now, and you're uncoiling here. So you ran out of space. How can we convince ourselves not to do this? Maybe if we convince ourselves that the disc is really, really stinky and we don't want to smell it. It's all the mental tricks, you know. But yeah, from here, boom. This comes from someone who sets up a putt like this. And everybody thinks I'm kissing my disc. Oh, Nimina, we're going to do you next. I've got questions about your putt. Think about why you send me putting and what's normally wrong with it. And then write that out. Okay. As for here, I'll go this way. I'll be a lefty. You're 2 towards your heels. Your butt's 2 underneath you, so you're 2 upright. And from here, if we turn our shoulders like we should, it's so easy for me to get the disc back behind me like this, right? But if you just set up here, get toward your toes, get your knees bent, get your butt out. Now your chest is over your knees, right? It's not over your hips. It's out over your knees. Right? From here, if you turn your shoulders as far back as you can turn them, the disc is going to stay over here, right? So now we've got all of this room here that we've created for the disc to go through. Sorry, I was reverse staggered. I was staggered as a righty. Here. Instead of here, towards the heels. There. All right, and now my disc is trying to find space and it finds it up by my chin. Here. And just start in that posture, stay in that posture. Towards the toes, chest over the knees. There we go. All right. What's wrong with your putt? Do you miss right a bunch? Is coaching only available through Patreon? Yes, unless you're local or you're setting up an in-person lesson. Putt mostly seems to be inconsistent. I can miss all over the place. I feel that. So you've got to start diagnosing the different misses. Are you taking off the barrier, Mikey? The force field? Okay. So you've got a good motion, right? I like your grip is fine. With your type of putt, it's very common to have like a little bit of bend in the fingers so you can get some pop up off the fingers, very common. I like that you have this nice, your legs move up first, and then your hand goes. So the most frustrating is when I miss high or low. That should be the least frustrating. That's the most expected with your style putt. I would be much more frustrated. I'd be much more concerned with your putt if you were missing left and right. Your putting style, with how down and up it is, I mean, look at this thing. Down, up. It's not a bad thing. Right, you've got a free throw kind of style putt. Kind of cornhole-esque, right? It's very archy. Have you ever seen like Paul? I'm not even going to say Ricky, because you know Ricky's going pew and dropping those bombs from, big, huge arcs distance. Steph Curry, that junk, right? Paul, you don't think about it that much, but you see Paul putt in person, and it's got a big arc. This thing isn't staying chain height the whole time. This thing isn't a bullet. You've got to work on the arc. So he's even on video saying, this is one that he did with Jonathan from Latitude 64. Jonathan said, give us your best putting tips. And Paul said, I don't understand when people say, I only practice from, 30 feet, or I only practice from 20 feet, or whatever that range is, right? They only practice one type of putt, and if I got it there, and I just practice making it, he's like, I don't get that, right? You have to practice from different ranges, because you've got to practice the arc at different ranges, because you gotta leave it higher or lower depending on how close you are, right? So he knows that there's some kind of arc to this thing. So don't get frustrated with that. That's part of it. That's just something you're going to have to learn, is adjusting distance-wise, right? So practice through all those distances. But, yeah, so that's not a bad thing. Don't get frustrated with that. But what you should do is when you're here, if you go here, and you miss high like that, okay, reset. Think about the thing that you're going to change there, right? I popped it a little high. Maybe I'll aim with my eyes a little bit lower, right? Hold. Okay, no change necessary. Same thing. Right, and now where's my hand finishing? What's the cadence to this? Right, and now you start logging what the different misses are. Why did I miss high? Okay, why did I miss low? And then make adjustments for those. Right, usually if you miss low, now that I can see as being frustrating because you didn't pop it, you didn't commit to it, right? But as long as you make the adjustment and you pop out of your hand on the next one, it's going to be higher, right? So it's not the miss that should be frustrating, it's not adjusting to the miss. So yeah, it's an interesting point, Zach. He says someone with a down up style. The frustrating thing for me is missing high low on short putts. I think sometimes for that style, 20-foot putts are easier than 12-foot putts. Paul used to say the same thing about Ricky. He was like, I wasn't worried about Ricky in the circle. I knew he was going to miss those. Yeah, I knew he was going to miss the 25-footers because Ricky would go and just doink it, or it'd be high, and he'd get this like spit back thing, right? Because it's lifting as it's coming into the chains, right? So he wasn't worried about that. He's like, I was worried when Ricky was in circle too, because I knew if he had an 80-foot putt, he was going to make it under pressure because he's got that arc, right? That's just part of the downside of that style, right? As a spin putter, I envy high and low misses because mine are left and right. Like, man. But, you know, on the opposite end of that, it's like from these, I'm not so worried about, like the distance doesn't change things for me as a spin putter, really. I'll spray it from anywhere. So, yeah. Right. Yeah. That's why you changed this. Yeah, remember that you were frustrated at the left-right misses, and that's why you changed this. So, yeah, but you have to, if you're missing all over the place, you need to know each miss. So, for example, you're going to know low for you, it's going to be because you didn't pop it, right? You didn't commit to the putt. High for you, not a problem. Too much loft. Maybe you sat back a little too much, right? Maybe the chin was a little too high, right? Boom. Left and right for you is going to probably be a line problem, right? Whereas with a spin putt, left and right is a timing problem. Your up and down is a timing problem. It's a commitment problem. So, if you want to be a good putter, you've got to commit to dialing in these misses and learning these adjustments. So, yeah, don't let frustration take control here. When you miss one, think about why you missed it, make the adjustment, and improve on the next one. So, but your form is solid. I tried to do your form review earlier because, because you were next on the list. But I didn't see much wrong with your putt. So, be more deliberate with your practice, right? Like basketball coaches for free throws. I've heard a couple guys say, like the guy who had the free throw record, he had a notebook and he wrote down all of his misses and why it happened. And so he knew, oh, if I miss left, it's this. If I miss high, it's this. If I miss short, it's this. If I miss right, it's this, right? Do the same thing. Attack it with so much intentionality, right? And there, you'll compress time frames. You'll get better much more quickly. Part of what I'm trying to figure out is how far to bring my disc. Yeah. For guys like you, usually it's pretty low, right? It's usually kind of below the groin here, right here. So if you're here, I'd expect it to be kind of down here because you're pushing up, right? So nice long path upward for you. But mess with it. And then once you figure it out, you're going to put that in your routine. Paul has this like spot that he takes it down to on the inside of his leg, right? And when he does it, when it touches the inside of his leg, that's how he knows it's go time, right? So he's got this cadence. It's here. Touch, go. Right? So that's his timing cue. And it also gets him bringing it back down to the same point every time. Imagine if I had more time with Paul. All this stuff I'd remember. Cam Hoff. Cam Hoff. You know, Cam, get your stuff in on time. Mr. Dissertation. Doctor Cam, get your stuff in early. I expect it early next time. All right, you weren't here earlier when I was saying this. So, get your stuff in early. If you want to be a professional, get there early, you stay late. Not get there late, leave early.
When was the last time you was at a doctor's office and they were one time?
He's a different kind of doctor.
It's all the same with every doctor.
0 grade for late submission. Should be. It should be. All right. Next time, if you turn in late, it really will. We're going to keep the money. I'm going to keep your money, Cam, and I'm not going to review it. Or you'll get in the next one. You appreciate my flexibility. I'm not flexible. I'm just doing it anyways. Hear my stern reproach. What is this flowing lock you have back here? One lock to rule them all. Dang, dude, have you been putting on more muscle mass up top here? I swear your arms are bigger. Oh yeah. Don't collapse. You know. You know. Yeah, you're just too loose here. You're letting your pocket collapse because your trunk rotation's outpacing. Dang, brother. Your hair is falling your arm. That's gotta be good, right? Yeah, you just gotta grind out this timing piece right here. When I don't collapse, I tend to shrug. Well, don't collapse, but also don't shrug. Yeah, so shrug, obviously, is this movement, all right, which doesn't happen. So we don't want to go here and go, right? Relax. Drop that sucker down. And from back here, you've got to move the elbow forward first. Right? Don't let this trunk go and leave this here. So you're moving the elbow forward too late in reference to your upper body. Here. Get it here. Don't let it collapse at all. Right now it's just your hands hanging back. It's not moving early enough. Gets here and then you go. Right? Because you get through, you open up the pocket, but you make it way harder on yourself because this is turning here and you're not keeping this in check. Elbow, 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 elbow. And you'll get the trunk rotation thrown in. Yeah, lower body's looking better though. The left leg isn't just like automatically drifting. The left hip's not just automatically drifting forward. Yeah. And you're almost at the end of your form journey here. Here, you are uncoiling a bit as you come down, right? Turn, 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 turn. See here, you start uncoiling this hip just a little bit. And the shoulder starts going forward. So delay it a little bit more. Coil, coil, coil. Even more. I've got a drill just for you. Shadow swings. But really, I mean, there's not much drill wise. I mean, you can do door frame. You can feel that. So you can do door frame drill. And then it's just from back here. You can go close shoulder and you can work. You know, the old faithful. Like I can't control the coil and step out far to horizontally brace. Right, I mean, if the uncoil is happening by necessity with your horizontal brace, like how far you're putting that foot, then you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to slow down. It's better for you to slow down, get proper coil, and have a more shallow step than it is to uncoil with a further step. So the purpose of the further step is to more easily stop your momentum, right? But if you're uncoiling it to do it, well, slow down, you'll have less momentum. A smaller step will help you to you won't need such a large step since you'll have less momentum. Yeah, tweaks there. All right. Next form review on my desk, 24 hours in advance. Doc. All right, Flippy Phil's next. Oh, you're normally like 3 days in advance. Well, go back to normal. I like 3 days in advance. It was working.
Who's this?
Flippy Phil. Oh yeah, he's flipping it. Whoop. Whoop. But I gotta harp on you a little bit, right? You know, since you're delving into the coaching world, right? Being prompt, punctual, is important for reasons beyond the minor inconvenience of adding it day of. So I'm not gonna let you slip there, brother.
True friend.
Okay. So this kind of starting posture, to me, if I see someone in this posture, I'm expecting a roller. So by the time you're here in this right step, you should be in the posture for the angle that you're throwing. You should be locked in. Right here is like, I'm really getting ready for a roller. And then you sneak down into kind of just a normal, baby hyzer flat-esque posture. Hyzer to flat, I should say. So, by the time you hit this right step, you're here. Right, so now you would be locked in. It would be here, 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 and then I'd see roller. So you're changing your swing plane too much. So when you get into this right step, you need to be in that posture that you finished in, because you worked on staying inside your posture at the end. It was great. So this posture right here, this is the one that you need to lock into by the time you go here. So it needs to be, boom, now I'm locked, right? Gets me towards my toes. It's going to help my brace later down the road. It's going to help me set up better for that. Right here, here, still in that posture, boom. Now we're here, and we're not rolling and dropping into it. It's too much for our body to take care of. Make it easy for yourself. Helps us maintain momentum, balance, all these things. Here. Here, stay locked in. Boom. And then move your hand through a little more. Right. Push that hand the last little 2 or 3 feet. Go through the shot with your hand. That's the other thing I'd say. All right, next is Fusca. I think we're going to get done before before FPO coverage starts. That was the goal. Okay. So let's get our balance here. Let's not lean back like this. I'll remove that angle. Oh, yeah. All right, see how your elbows are tilted up? Your shoulders are tilted up above your hips. If your shoulders are up like this, I'm expecting you to throw the disc up like this, which is not what you're trying to do, right? So your posture is not matching where you're throwing. All right, as we go again, still up, and then you drop down here. Making for a very shallow coil, and then boom, you drop the shoulders.
Do you not teach up, down, up anymore?
Not really.
You want to take that off?
I think I did.
No.
Yeah, take it off.
You start talking, and like up, down, up.
Yeah, I thought I had taken it off already. Yeah, it's not necessarily bad, but he's not in balance like this, right? His shoulders and hips kind of level with one another, right? We could say technically up here, but it's at the expense of his posture here. So maybe not take it down. It's hard to say. Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is the hips and the shoulders are parallel, right? Like that unit there. It's always just an eye. Oop. Try that again. It's always just an eye. It's not a... Here, let me do it with this. Whoop. It's not... this. Chomper, Pac-Man. So, oh well, it's not changing it. Scrolling, but nothing's changing. Oh, okay, there it is. Let's see if it'll give it to me. Oh no. Oh yeah. iPad's not changing things. Okay, here we go. So this is what I'm looking at. We don't want pinchy between the. Oh, okay, there we go. Shoulders and the hips. This is good, helps me clarify a concept mentally. Something I'm able to more easily say. This app is called OnForm. One word, ONFORM. So here, you're here, right? Where you've got this accordion thing going, right? Where we've got this side is small, this side is big, small, big, and then you switch which side has the accordion on it, right? Just the way that you stand up normal, this is how the shoulders and the hips and all that work, right? It's just here. And then we just go, instead of going into an accordion, if we want to tilt that whole thing up, we tilt the whole thing up. If we want to tilt the whole thing down, we tip the whole thing down. But it's not just a pinch here and lift this shoulder and drop that hip. It's not a big flying V, right? So here, stay, stay, turn. So from the back, it's here, here. Oh, what am I doing? There. Now turn. There we go. Right. So now our right shoulder, you see how Simon's right is lower because he's bent here. Right? So bent here. Straight turn. It's like this. Nicholas. This is our swing plane. Here. So, I was using this to show. We got a video coming out on this, but here's the swing plane. Right? I can change my posture and change where it's at, but I stay in it the whole time. Here, so from your view, it's going to look like the hoop is not moving. If I do this properly, it's only turning. It's not going here or here. From here, I just turn inside it, and it stays at this angle. And now I can unload with it on that same angle. Should not be unloading or unloading or unloading like that. It is here. There, right? So the up, up, down, up that Mikey was asking about earlier was, yes, you can take this whole thing and move it up like this. Right, but it's not like this, moving it up. Right, it's not an isolated move. It's the whole unit can hang back if I'm throwing high. So here's my spike hyzer. Boom. Right. Does that make sense? You're not here, but I'm asking Mikey. Yeah. It's the concept of up, up, down, up, not conflicting with that makes sense. Because they're different things. We don't accordion one side. It's all moved together by our posture. And so your posture's changing the whole time. Changing, changing. Whoop. Gonna show you side on. See this? No pinching of the left side from behind. Here, posture. 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 Draw better. Thank you. Posture. Posture. Right. Notice that even with my poor drawing skills, the lines are similar shapes. Because he's staying inside that posture the whole time. Yeah. Hello? Oh, okay. PCW.
Promising.
Yeah, it's just being slow. Yeah, what do I think about up, up, down, up?
Bible does it.
Yeah, it happens, but is it helpful to isolate that versus just saying, get in your posture, maintain your posture, and if you need to throw high, you tilt the posture back, right? And then you stay there. And if you need to throw low, it's there, right? But it's kind of, I'll have to think about what's the most helpful there. It's just because something happens doesn't mean that it's helpful for me to tell you about it or to tell you. It's all about, I'm basically just trying to find ways to tell you the things that you need to know and simplify them in helpful ways. Not just simplify them to simplify them. Yeah, you almost had it.
I wish I could do that.
Get in the pocket.
deep pocket he is.
Uh-huh.
Which,
Yeah, the pocket, the arm movement overall, not a problem. Just the lack of coil here. Like you could have kept turning your shoulders back. And you had a nice long swing. Like overall, the form, clean. I just wish there were more. I just wish there were more room for you to throw here. We can tell that your arm's like kind of out towards us a bit. And if you had kept on turning this shoulder, if you had kept on turning the shoulders, that would have been a little bit further behind you, which would have been fine, because now you probably used to have to reach out, right, when you were not getting the arm through. Now that you worked on getting the arm through, it's okay actually for the disc to come here because you're outpacing the shoulders with the hand, right? If you rotate the shoulders, you have to leave the hand out so it has a fighting chance of not getting caught behind the shoulders, right? Rotating the shoulders first, not doing the correct arm move, you'll get here. But if you're here with the correct arm move, it's okay because you got the space. So I'd love to see, instead of getting here, I'd love to see you go there. Really open up this trail side here, your right side. Give me just a little bit more coil. Get all the way back there and then see where this position of your backswing is, of where your disc is. And then you can decide, okay, does it need to be a little more out? But right now, it's out and away, but it's at the expense of more coil. So, more coil, as much coil as you can get, and then adjust this position. But it's pretty clean, but you're definitely not getting all of it. Yeah, and it'll help you with your timing on your front foot too. It'll delay your pull through a little bit more. You just spend a little more time coiling. Yeah, it's so shallow. Right? It kind of moves this way and then forward instead of just directly forward. So you want to do less reaching out. More track, one direction away from where you're throwing. Yeah. Congratulations on the work you've done so far. The arm work looks good. Overall, the positions look clean. Just a couple details to iron out now. You throwing decent ways? And it's a whole different world when you got all that track behind you to accelerate. It's going to feel like you got an extra 2 feet to throw. Next, we're going to do Spokane, Kansas. Spokane, Washington is where he's from, but he lives in Kansas now. Maybe. Or maybe he's got 2 homes. Yeah. So it's cross. Oi, sleepy boy. It's weird because your arm's back, but it's not all the way back. You've got this little move right. I'm looking at your elbow, by the way. Right there, where it like turns up. It's a very little move, but it makes it so that when you start moving forward with your torso, it doesn't directly drag the disc. It's weird. The script's definitely interesting. I don't think it's the same thing that Sexton and Ryan are doing. I gotta wake up. Hey. One second. Oh. Just want to like move a little bit. Okay. We're good. Okay, so you're here, and as you go forward, it's not pulling, it's just there, and then you push. So the start of this thing is almost like somebody's beating you in arm wrestling, right? That's the range of motion that we want to use here. It's kind of like that, right? So that any type of move forward pulls the hand back, and it should be pretty tight, right? So the feeling can be like, how do I show this to you guys? Like if I'm walking up against a wall, and I've got this about 90 degree, right? If I'm just walking and moving my body forward, it's dragging my hand back, right? It's not going like this. I'm not letting it go and just straighten my whole shoulder and arm out, right? We maintain kind of this, and we keep this kind of shape here. This, you're beating me in arm wrestling shape, and I'd really like to put your arm through the table. And then we pop against that, right? So you've got to get most of that position here, right here. It's okay if that position is higher, like this, but this, for example, is not it, right? So give me that. Give me this position here where it's, I'm here, and I go, boom, it's back. Like this, right? So kind of this 90 here. right? And there's your position. We're rolled back like that. I pledge allegiance, right? It's here. So that looks like this. Boom. Here. And then once you start moving, it should start pulling right away. Right, so your starting hand position has to be the I pledge allegiance position, the I'm arm wrestling and I'm losing position. Right? There. So when we move forward, you see how it directly starts moving my disc instead of that, elongating my arm. It's here. Turn keeps it moving forward. Right? And then we pop forward against that at the end. Think about your grip. If you're using this type of grip, it needs to be inside the rim. There are two people that I know that use this grip that are known for forehands, Nate Sexton and then Ryan Shelton. Ryan Shelton throws really far. So I'm open to this being a grip that's useful, but you have to have middle finger leveraging the rim forward. So when we lay this sucker back and we start moving, it's here. Like I cannot get my arm any further back than this, any more externally rotated than that. So there, boom, there. So get this kind of 90-degree elbow position. I've got a question, sir, like that. Yeah, it's just two here. Ba 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 dee dee. Okay, next is Bryce JFSN.
Right.
Bryce JFSN. Don't go backwards here. These steps go just like this. It's just that. It's just a little cross behind that you need there. Just this. Right, not talking about the upper body. That's exactly what the lower body does. So you need to get this move down. Just right, cross, right. There's no turning of the feet. It's just right, cross, right. That's it. Okay? You need to get your posture squared away. Right? Bend your knees. Stick your butt out a little bit. Get your chest over your knees. Get towards your toes. There. That's what we're going for. right? Now, the upper body doesn't do anything here, doesn't do anything here. Now the upper body turns away on that final step. That's just that kind of side step. Remember, the final step is just this. That's all it is. So it's here, here. Now the upper body is going to turn. That's it. And so you're going to finish in this kind of posture. For here, step, cross, turn. All right, and then you'll have a much better coil as well, and you won't get in this position here. It's kind of like sumo stance. All right. All right, Birdman. Birdman, I got on the cam for this. And I'm a equitable guy. Heard you turn your stuff in late this morning, as it were. You want to get better, you can't do that. Okay? Good athletes are punctual. Don't show up late to practice. Get your stuff in on time. On time is no later than 12 hours before the live stream. I accept your apology. Now let's get to work. If I let you slip, then you're going to be on Pro Tour one day. They're going to say show up 5 minutes before your tee time, and you're going to show up 4 minutes and 53 seconds before your tee time, and you're going to get stroked. 2-stroke penalty. All right? Can't have that. So. Okay. Looks like you're back a little early. So right here, the hips are back. You're trying to do the right thing with the coil. Right, but there's not really much place to go from here, right? Boom, that's it, maximum coil. And then you still got all this time, right? You got all this time before this front foot hits. Right, and so to feel like you're doing something, it's like, oh, well, I'll extend my arm. Right, but that's not really accomplishing anything. So don't turn there. Instead, wait till after. Right, so these steps go like this. That's the lower body. Don't let the final step of this turn with the upper body make you change what you're doing with the lower body. Okay, so the lower body, very simple. It's just here, here, here. All right, and then you do a lefty. Here, here, here. Okay. Here, here, here. Here, here, here. That's all the lower body is for those last 3 steps. You need to be in your posture, of course. Here, here, here. Here, here, here. All right, so be in your posture, of course. And then all we do is we wait for that turn. So when does the upper body turn come into play? Not here, not here. Now, once we're on our left foot, we're going to use this time that we're gliding over to our right foot. We're going to use that time, and we're going to turn the upper body. Right? That's going to get us in this position It's a very professional looking lower body position. So it is here, here, here. Got it. Once we add the turn with the upper body, it's going to look perfect. Here, here, turn with the upper body, here. And when you do that, we won't be turned early. So now we can go, okay, let's fill that time with the full coil there. And it doesn't tempt us to go, I've already coiled, what else can I do? How about uncoil, right? No uncoil. We're just gonna go boom, boom, and turn. But we're gonna wait till the last part of it. Questions? Absolutely. And I believe you. I know you'll get the next one in on time. And you'll be a more professional athlete for it. Cheers. How is the hand from last time? The hand looked fine. Yeah, the hand looked fine to me. When you get this sorted out, the hand slipped around a little early, but that's because you were unloading early, right? So you're good. You're good. Once you wait till the last step to coil, then we'll revisit the hand. But it's obvious you're trying to do the right things. I think if you set up the coil properly, you'll probably get it. Yeah, I did peek the hand, but what do we got here, Robo Rob? Ooh. Also familiar with the turning back early. Yeah, we just got to work on same thing here. Here, if you're gonna jump, no problem, but you've got to stay tall off of that hop there. Right? We can't go jump to a fall because we got to spend time on this left foot so we can turn. So if you're gonna hop here, you've got to hop and you got to be tall. So we've got this arc with the last step. Okay, and also you can't turn back here. You can't jump to a turn back here. Because either you're going to stay back like this or you're going to do what you're currently doing. And coming out of it, you get your feet spread like this because your lower body's going, I was back, let's open. Let's not open. Let's just go there, right? Keep this side on. All right, so lower body is here. If you're going to do the hop, it goes right, left, and then you're falling. Right, so it's up, boom. Like that. So you need to practice. What I'm practicing here, you need to practice. Here, I'm not even worried about turning yet. Just making sure I don't turn. Boom, boom. Right, getting the rhythm, getting the feel. It's not a fall down. Right, again, not this. It's a up and over. Gives us lots of time to turn at the very end. Now we're going to use it for a turn. Boom, boom. And then I'm turning as I'm on it. I'm delaying it so you can see when I'm definitely not turning. Right, I'm not turning right. Here, I'm not going to go turn into this step. Nope. I didn't practice this. It wasn't. Right. It's here. Here. And turn. Right. So it's not right turn. It's right left. As we're drifting on the left, we're turning. Now you watch me do it 50 times here. I'll show you yours again so you can see the difference. Here's the turn with the lower body, you see? How you're falling onto this foot, you go boom, jump, and now you're coming down. Yeah, what you want to do is you want to take this left step and you got to give yourself time to turn, right? If I go up here and I drop here in these last two steps, I don't have any time to turn, right? That looks like this. That looks like there. Right. What I want is and glide on the left, not right. I want to kind of plant on the left like a pole vault. Right. I want to stick my left in the ground and then I want to lift up off of it and over and then eventually fall. I don't want to just go fall. Now from here I'm going big arc. And I did it like 50 times, so you can go on playback if you want, just watch it. You get the feeling for it, right? It doesn't need to be so like nitpicky. Just glide. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be jumping down onto your cross step. So very much, again, like you would just, if you were just doing this, it's the same. we don't go. It's not like some kind of dance move, right? We're just moving the whole time. On a runway, on a conveyor belt. Did I already do this, guys? J La Hood? No, I guess not. Right.
Did I mix up you guys' videos?
Probably not. Oh, did you label them yourself?
I think them, yeah.
Ah. I don't know. The name just seemed more recent than like, oh yeah, I did this guy's last time.
Meaning like today?
Yeah, no. It's just a feeling.
Yeah, last time we got something from was January 29th.
Oh, he just joined back on the server, I think, is what I saw. Yeah. And then he said hi when he got there. That's what it was. Yeah, my brain was going like, I had a specific thought about him recently.
Gotcha.
And it was just that I saw him back on the server. And I was like, oh, he's back.
Did you tell him to leave? Is he one of those?
I don't think so. Yeah, so this lean here at the end, this posture is not just you not wanting to fall in the puddle. Although that is kind of, I should start putting like a little baby pool in front of people so they learn how to brace better. We'll motivate you. Yeah. The floor is lava. Literally. Okay. Yeah, so that balancing is an indication of earlier posture, and it's here when you kind of unwind this front foot / knee. So you want to firm up this final position here. So what we're headed to is, it should be like if I was here and I just had you go boom, and you just wanted to be kind of springy inside of here, right? If I had you in your posture, lifting up and just falling towards your right leg, this is what we're looking for, right? If I just had you falling and just going, hey, you know, you're stepping, there's a mosquito on the back of your leg, and then you move over, right? It's that kind of move. You're not going to go like this and go. We're having a conversation, right? You're going to be boom. All right. should be springy like this, solid like this. Your hips shouldn't be like underneath your body like this. Your booty should be sticking out a little bit. Right here, there, like that. So that's also going to let you coil a bit better, because if your hips are locked out like this, your hips can't move to go backwards in a natural way, right? If I'm here, now this hip kind of drops a little bit naturally, right, as the shoulders go to drop. But if they're locked out here, let's like really lock them out for me. Here, they can't move. They're not going to move down, up, right? So now I'm going to get on this kind of here, upright plane. So when I throw, everything's going to want to stay up here to catch my balance so I don't fall in the puddle in front of me, right? So you got to really make sure that you iron out this final position here into this athletic, hike or returning serve or, returning serve. There, fielding a grounder, right? Here. So go through, just do your steps. Here, here, boom, straight over. That's solid. Right now you can feel how your coil changes when you turn your shoulders back. Here, here. Now I'm going to do that same, just moving, falling towards my right with a turn. Right, that's a much better position. The knees aren't flared out from one another. It's here. All right, friends. That's it. It's 11:30. Dakota, has the women's coverage started yet? Not yet, probably. Pretty soon. Not started yet. You got time for a little break. Put on FPO. Watch some ladies crush Portland. Thanks for tuning in. If you're interested in reviews like this for yourself, our Patreon is linked in the description. We'll see you on the Discord server. Peace.